Hello to anyone and everyone who's decided to watch this video. Today, we are looking at the Ocular Max Remix Series 17 Harmony. 17, huh? They've really made 17 of these already? Pretty shocking. For those who don't know what Ocular Max is, they are one of the many third-party Transformers companies making Transformers toys without permission from Hasbro, and what this line is, it is the cassette bots, but done up larger and at the scale of real cassette tapes, which is actually a pretty fun idea. Like, it's actually very novel, and it's also just cool to give us much higher detailed versions of these characters. And it's the best kind of third-party thing, because it feels like a thing we will probably never get from a legit standpoint from Hasbro or Takara. And why did I get this one out of all the figures they've released is because this one is an homage to Flipsides, an obscure repaint of the Rewind Eject mold into a character I actually like. It is another female character from this mold as well. We all know Rosanna, the pink one, but we also have Flipsides, who is actually a Decepticon who was reprogrammed into being an Autobot, and she doesn't know she's a Decepticon. And the Decepticons are the ones that reprogrammed her, and she is unknowingly, secretly broadcasting Autobot spy plans to them, so the Decepticons can figure out the Autobots' moves. And as you can see, me messing around with the box, she comes in this very fun little box that is meant to be an homage to Twincast, because the original Flipsides toy came with a reissue of the original G1 Twincast. And I think it's a really nice touch to decorate the box around him. And it also kind of makes me want them to do gigantic versions of Soundwave and Blaster to go with these giant cassette bot toys. Let's just get her out of here so we can put this to the side. And maybe the giant Soundwave and Blaster is a bit far-fetched, but here we have Flipsides here. I'm not going to call her Harmony, it's Flipsides. That's what I will say. Looking like a cassette, and honestly, it feels like I'm holding a real cassette tape. I mean, I was born around the time cassettes were basically dead, but we still had plenty of them around the house, so I definitely remember what these feel like. And these bits here that will become her legs are die-cast, so they got a nice cold feel. She is the A side that we're looking at here with the graphics. The B side is just a bunch of robot junk. And yeah, very nice. I love the blue and black fade on her. She's got the white and the maroon for her robot mode. And along with the Twincast box, she comes with this. All of these remix figures come with this, where you got the little cardboard fold out for the instructions, as well as a little description on the back. What does this say? Harmony is endpoint for almost all data in the universe, a bot with no emotion beyond the adrenaline of chasing good business. She's commonly seen selling all things digital across the universes. Dyslexia, always doing its work, don't know that word, of black markets. In the know and looking for high-end software at a good deal, ? Digging up dirt on a galactic government you just can't stand, ? Looking for the newest patch before it's set to release, ? Either way, when dealing with Harmony, read the fine print. Okay. And inside this cardboard, it is a slipcover for a cassette case, a nice clear red cassette case, and it has the third-party trading card. Is this the exact same character bio? Yes, it is. And it's got stats, because all third-party things come with cards, and I guess she's supposed to fit in here like a real cassette. I'm a bit worrisome about that, because she feels a little big here, and she's got the extra stuff coming off here, but let's see how this works. I guess I put her in the other way. I also like this little sound ring detail here. That's kind of fun. Well, now she's pushing the plastic apart, putting her in this way. No, I don't like that. Try it again, like this. See if we can get this to work. I'm never going to use this case again. If I can get her in it, I can't even get her in it. So, yeah. Great. Well, I pointed out that she has it. That's all I needed to do. So I'll just put that to the side. Let's just admire the nice graphics on the tape again. And she's a simple enough transformation and quick enough of one that she'll be one of the ones we do on camera. Just for the heck of it. Not really too much about doing the transformations on camera. And as you can see, the weapons store inside the die-cast panels for her legs. That's pretty good. You fold down these to give her feet, sis. Pull this out. Fold these down. There's a leg, and she does that thing that a lot of Hasbro figures do nowadays, where there's a knee joint and then another joint for transformation that is looser than the knee joint. So when you bend the knee, you bring out the transformation joint instead. Do the same thing for the other side. Pull out the gun. Collapse her heel. Something on my desk is shaking. Some vibrations. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I hope it's not. Pull the arms out. Flip these down. Fold that down, fold that down, fold out the hand, slide these down, slide those down, there's her robot head, and just do this arm, and you got your little rewind recolor, and she's looking very cute. Also, you gotta turn her hands around. You gotta put them upside down for cassette mode, so do that. Or at least it feels like you gotta turn them upside down. You maybe don't have to. And voila, there she is in her white and maroon. And admittedly, in pictures, the humanoid tapes, like this mold and the Rumble Frenzy mold, they sometimes felt a little elongated to me in photos, and sometimes they still do when I'm just looking at it in person, but I actually wound up finding it working quite well, especially because in the show, these cassettes are basically human size when they're in robot mode, and if you put it next to standard action figures of today, it feels like it's like a 1-to-1 scaling almost, which is actually kind of cool if you want to do little crossovers with your cassettes characters and other franchises. That could be really fun. And a lot of the articulation is pretty cool on her too. And she's got the ab crunch, you got the panels for the hip armor to let her legs move properly. The knees, this one is really, really tight for some reason. Like I said, you got the transformation one that acts as an extra joint. You got the ankle tilts. The elbows are admittedly kind of a bit of a weird looking thing, and that probably helps to the whole elongatedness to her that I was talking about. But she's got to be able to transform, so I can forgive the elbow bows, and because these don't tab in anywhere, they kind of fly up a lot. And another weird thing about the chest is that you can split it open, like you pull it apart, and then you give it like a pseudo butterfly joint. I do not like that. I think they expect you to keep it displayed, pulled apart. Definitely don't care for that look for her at all. And now that we've gone over the articulation, we'll zoom in and look at her head. She's got a fully covered face, and I guess that is what the actual toy looks like for this mold. I haven't seen a zoom in on the head of the original G1 mold ever, so I didn't realize the visor took up so much more than the faceplate. So that is admittedly a little odd, but I'm still kind of into it. And it's got the traditional details on the chest squares and the sound wavy diamond thing, but now they're in a pinkish color. You can see she's got the tape stuff on the inside of her legs, and I really like it. It's also, I bet the reason they went with white for one of her colors is because the arms and the thighs and the head are normally white on this mold with rewind and eject, so they could reverse it for her, and that's probably part of the inspiration. And I think she's just a good-looking bot. And I think the whole Decepticon turned into an Autobot thing is very unique, so that's why another reason to like her. So I just had a lot of reasons to buy her. Plus, I just wanted at least one of these remix figures. And part of me almost thinks it might be cool to own one of every mold. And I'll probably at least pick up a Ravage at some point, because I just love Ravage as a character. I've heard mixed things about their Laserbeak, so maybe I'll skip that one unless they do a really cool repaint. Although, other than Sunder, I can't think of anything else that they haven't already done. And if they did Slam Dance, that one, I would probably go after Slam Dance if they did him. But, anyway, the guns. Haven't looked at these yet. Gotta get the focus. They're also in that nice metallic pink, and you can either plug them on the sides of the arms, like the original toy, which is my preferred way for her to keep them, or you can pull out some handles and have her hold them in the hands, and that looks good too, but I prefer the arm blaster look to have her shooting up stuff. And she does have further customization. I know some releases of these molds have alternate heads, or at least I think they do. I know Rumble and her legs, I'm pulling her leg apart for some reason, I don't know why. I know versions of Rumble and Frenzy do, so I wouldn't be shocked if Rewind and Eject did. But you can take off her shoulder pads for some reason. And she has these new ones that are more IDW-like. Why is it not going on? Huh. Weird. They fit on perfectly fine last time. Maybe you're not supposed to take these old ones off. Yeah. Okay, when I was messing around with her out of the box, and I pulled one of these IDW shoulder pads off, and the traditional one came off with it, so I thought I was doing it wrong putting them over, but no, you're supposed to do that. So she's got IDW Rewinds shoulder pads, which, I mean, okay. They're really made specifically for the Rewind version, because Rewind became an amazing character through IDW, but this isn't the IDW design, and she can't transform with them on, so I'm never going to use them. Also, it's not Rewind, so why would I give her the Rewind shoulder pads? See, it came off again. That's why I thought you weren't supposed to do this with the thing. Hang on. Okay, it's good. It's good. She's good. Her shoulder's fine. What was happening is, like, this little piece here just gets stuck on the sculpting here when you're trying to take it off. That's the problem. And yeah, and just don't use these. They're pointless. They're pretty pointless accessories. And yeah, that's about it. All we really have left to do is let's just for the fun of it put her next to Twincast, and definitely doesn't work as well here scaling wise. Again, if Ocular Max wants to make a ridiculously big blaster / Twincast toy for her to be stored inside, that would be very fun. And then the internet will say it's better than the Titan's Return blaster toy, even if it isn't, which is sad because Titan's Return blaster, great toy. And let's also, of course, bring in her brother. Well, not really brother, but Repaint Origin Rewind, and we'll never get Flipsides on this mold, probably. So, and see just how sized up she is compared to a normal cassette bot. And yeah. So yeah, I really do like this toy. I think it's fun, it's unique, it's definitely a standout way to get a cassette bot, and it's a very fun way for me to obtain this obscure Transformers character that I have a fondness for. And I think it's just a overall very well designed mold and just a fun thing to mess around with. So I think I've rambled on enough. So thank you all for watching, and see you guys around.
Hey y'all, it's your Radman Blaster here to let you know that this channel is where you want to go for some cool vids. You dig? And if you do, then you should subscribe so you can know the latest going on. Catch you on the flip side.